what's going on? So this is a very impromptu video. I hadn't planned on doing this. I was just looking at my records, I was listening to some records, I was listening to some of the new shit that I got in, and realized that I had some 2018 releases and I had talked about none of them. So basically I just pulled out the 2018 releases that I have and I'm going to talk about them here in one video. I have no idea what I'm going to say in this video. I just pulled out my fucking records, I turned on the camera, and here we are. Before we start, I kind of wanted to run something by you guys. I've kind of been toying with the idea of redoing my entire record collection series of videos. There's a few reasons for wanting to do that, mainly because the old videos are really awful, and I think if new people were to come in, I'd rather them watch like the newer videos with this nicer format over those heinous old videos. Besides that, my collection looks a lot different now than it did. I mean, my first update videos were already 3 years old. 3 years of growth. My collection looks a lot different now. My opinions on things I had have definitely changed. But if this is something that you'd be interested in seeing personally, let me know. The updates wouldn't stop. I just want to be more active and sort of put something out there for newer people to see if they were to find this channel. If that sounds like something you would like to see, just let me know in the comments. If it's something that you think is fucking stupid, also let me know. I don't, whatever. Alright, before we get into it, this is what we're listening to. This is Bjorn's Hall. This is a 2018 release as well. Just a really fucking good, like, obviously epic atmospheric black metal record. Love this thing, man. Check it out. Alright, let's get into it, man, with one that's gonna be hard to talk about. This is Panopticon with the Scars of Man on the Once Nameless Wilderness. So this is a two-part record. Fucking 4 LPs in total, almost 2 hours long, and easily the most ambitious undertaking that Panopticon has ever done, but also the record I think with the best payoff. Because what this record does is it sort of takes the styles that you would find on like Kentucky or Roads to the North, and instead of really combining them like Panopticon did in the past, they basically broke it up and make 2 full records out of the respective styles. And this thing turned out so fucking good. I did get the version that was limited to 100 with this like screen printed like slipcase thing, though it's not really a slipcase. It kind of just like, it's kind of like a big fold over cover, and it came in like this massive bag, but it wasn't very shelf friendly, so I just took this out and I have it sort of leaned up like that on my fucking record shelf. But yeah, I guess I'm just gonna start with part 1, which is this right here. So this is the first part of this double album release, and this is more in the vein of what we're used to from Panopticon. But kind of like Sean said, this isn't exactly black metal. It definitely has the black metal feel, and at its roots that is what I would call it, but it's very atmospheric and it's very, very melodic. But there are other elements that come in and sort of play such a big role in the finished product here that it would be hard to just call it black metal. This really is something special, and I mean, easily this is what I've listened to the most this year. And I don't think that anything will come out this year and top this. If something does, it's gonna have to be pretty fucking good, because this record is just beyond words. But I don't want to talk about it forever, so I'm just gonna show you. This is the album cover right here. I love the photography with no logo or anything. It looks really fucking good. Somebody's mowing the fucking lawn out there. So from what I understand, this cabin belonged to Sigurd Olsen, and there are actually some readings of some of his material on this record. So Sigurd Olsen apparently was an American author. I didn't know, I had to look it up, but his name is mentioned on one of the inner sleeves here. Pretty much all the photography on this is of the cabin or the surrounding area. But anyway, yep, album cover. There's the back right there with the song titles and shit like that. I like on the bottom here, it says not one person was asked to review this record. There's the inside here, gorgeous photography, and then right here you have the meanings of each one of these songs. Not lyrics, but what the song is about, which I love. And reading this and just hearing the record, it sounds very genuine. It sounds personal. It sounds very important to Austin himself as a person and as a musician. And I fucking love it, man. I really am having a hard time talking about this. 2 records, like I said, a couple inner sleeves, which again look really fucking nice. There's a picture of a window right there with some credits. It just talks about like who did like backing vocals on certain parts, shit like that. There's this drawing right here, which I fucking love that. So you just have some shit written by Austin on one of these sides right here. And again, more photography. Very cool. And the records themselves, man, are just gorgeous. On these like blue vinyl, but you can see there's like some like swirly shit in there. I'm actually gonna turn the camera around and you can kind of really see. Yeah, dude, check that out. Fucking gorgeous. So part 1 is an epic, just melodic fucking masterpiece. Anyone who likes anything Panopticon's ever done will love this. So I'm gonna break this up into 2 parts, and I'm going to play you a little clip from this first. Check it out, part 1. Okay, here's part 2, and this is kind of the one that I was a bit more excited to hear personally. This is a sort of bluegrass Americana folk record. Again, lyrically, this is just as meaningful and powerful and emotive as part 1 was. It's just presented in a very different way, but it is so fucking good. So the second song on here, The Wandering Ghost, could be my favorite song on the entire release. It basically about a guy who moves from a really scenic part of the country to go work in a city, in a factory. And I like part of the lyrics in the song is it says he died from a broken heart from no mountains in the distance. And even on the inside, it basically just says, in short, this song is my take on a classic story of rural southerners moving to the industrial north. Just fucking amazing. I love that song. It gives me fucking goosebumps. Besides that, Across Abandon is a great song. Echoes in the Snow is a good song. The Itch, despite the lyrics, is a great song. Cowering at the Foot of the Mountain. The Moss Beneath the Snow is the first song on here. It's like a pretty long song, but it's just really fucking good. Not Much Will Change When I'm Gone. I love it, dude. Anyway, there's the album cover right there. There's the back. There's the inside. Same as before. There's some photography and then meanings of each one of the songs, man. Fucking awesome. Again, 2 inner sleeves here. I'll show you one of them. Again, just some shit written by Austin. I've read all this stuff, but I don't really want to go into it because I'm already really far into this video. There's the other one right there, more photography, kind of more credits. And on the side, you have a picture of like a duck under the stars. And the color of the record for part 2 is this really cool purple color. Again, I'm gonna have to turn this because it's kind of hard to see. Yeah, there you go. Oh shit, yeah, you like that shit? In short, man, this is the best Panopticon album to date. If you don't like the sort of like Americana folk type shit, you won't like part 2. If you don't like anything Panopticon's done in the past, you probably won't like part 1. But everybody else, this is for you. This is an amazing album. Check it out. I'm gonna play a part from part 2 now. Panopticon, The Scars of Man on the Once Nameless Wilderness, 1 and 2.
Traded in poverty and scenery for money and hell. Just a young man, still in his prime. Now a faceless cog in some old factory line.
Alright, next up we have something a lot different. This is Forlore with Towards the End. This is basically NSBM by numbers. Amazing fucking catchy riffs, the fucking super great, very rich vocals. But I think on here, the thing about this that's so great is the riffs themselves. Every one of these songs has at least one riff that you kind of can't help but fucking nod your head to. I've been waiting for this thing to come out for ages, man. Ever since I first heard this band, I've been like just waiting on a full length, and now that it's here, this thing was entirely worth the wait. One of the other things I think on here is the third song, The New Era. It's got a really loud fucking like bass line in it, and it works so well and it's so fucking good. There's not much to show here, so there's the album cover. There's the back right there. It is just black vinyl, darker than black. No lyrics or anything, unfortunately. If there's anything I can say against this record, is that every song near the end of the album does kind of start to blend together. It's not a bad thing because every song is so fucking good and the riffs are so good, but every song does kind of start to sound a little bit samey near the end. But yeah, that's the only complaint I have. Besides that, man, this thing is a perfect 10 out of 10, so one of the best things I'll hear this year for sure. That's Forlore with Towards the End. Next up, we have a bit of a supergroup. This is Dreadful Relic with Hyborian Sorcery. So these guys have been around since like 2014 or something, and includes members of some really fucking good projects in my opinion. Most notably for me, Goat Moon, but also Der Stürmer and Demon Sea as well. And this is basically just first wave black metal worship. I think it's like the drummer or something for Der Stürmer does vocals on this thing. But the vocals are really, really distinct. I don't think I've ever heard anything that sounds at least exactly like it. Just really good, very simple riffs, very simple songs, great vocals, just a great goddamn time. Also, side note, the title track on this thing, Hybori and Sorcery, that is literally the riff from Satanic Winter. Here, I'll show, listen. And now here's the riff for Satanic Winter. Yeah, the tail end of the riff is a little bit different, but it's pretty much copy and paste. But anyway, let me show you the album cover here. There's the front cover, very fucking weird. There's the back though. There's Black Goat from Goat Moon, which is very cool. Track listing, Nuclear War Now, very cool. Comes with a lyric sheet. It also comes with a poster. I'm not crazy enough about the artwork to hang this up or anything, but nice addition. This isn't like the Die Hard or anything, so it's just black vinyl. Labels are real simple. Just a great fucking first wave black metal worship style record. Really good, man. One of the most fun records that I've heard this year. I love it, man, and I think anybody who likes this sort of first wave style of black metal will probably love this too. So check it out. That's Dreadful Relic with Hybori and Sorcery. Alright, next up here we have some Swedish black metal. This is Panfage with Jord. Now, I had been saying Panphage for ages. Literally since I first heard this band, I've been calling it Panphage. And then I saw Marty Worm's video, and he called it Panfage. And considering that this is kind of distributed through his label, I assume that he knows what he's talking about more than I do. So this project's been active since 2005. Some demo shit, 3 full-length records including this, and this is the band's swan song. So this record is the last Panfage record there will be, which is a bummer because I haven't been into these guys for that long, and yeah, I would like to hear more, of course, but to go out on a high note like this is, you know, there's something to be said about it. So great fucking record, very atmospheric, sort of the opposite end of the spectrum of black metal, and especially like Swedish black metal. Because if you think of the bands from Sweden, a lot of people seem to talk about the black metal bands anyway, like LXXVIII and Buket Nexamu, Mystic, shit like that. This is sort of the other end of the spectrum. Panfage, Stilla, Skogen, Grift, shit like that. More atmospheric side of the spectrum. But that being said, there are still some really good riffs on here. Very melodic, very atmospheric, like I said. And I would say my favorite song on this thing is the 5th song. I don't know how to fucking say it, but that's what it looks like right there. That song specifically has a really fucking good riff in it. But man, I love this record. And when you think atmospheric black metal, I would say that this is probably a bit more aggressive than what you're picturing in your head. Let me show you the album cover here. I like the difference between this and the last album cover. The last album cover being more blue, and this one has more of like an orange, like warm feel to it. There's the back there. You got Nordvis on the bottom, track listing, shit like that. You do have a lyric sheet here. They are in English. I haven't actually sat down and read along yet, but I know when I do, I'm going to like this album even more. This is the second press of this, and the second press came identical to the first press on this like brown vinyl, which fits very nicely with the album cover. I have no complaints about this record. It's fantastic. I think most of you guys who even sort of appreciate atmospheric black metal can get on with this just fine. So check it out. That's Panfage with Jord. Last but not least, we have an EP, but this is actually something that I don't like as much as pretty much everything else I've talked about. This is Order of the Death's Head with Les Sang Secret. Obviously, French black metal. These guys have been around for like 8-9 years at this point, and this is the only EP this band's ever done. They've done full lengths, they've done demos, but this is the first EP. This is kind of just almost like a downgrade from the last full-length album. In terms of production quality and in terms of music quality. Don't get me wrong, I do like this, but it's not something you pull out every day. Besides a couple good riffs, It's just not much really stands out, not much is very memorable. It kind of has that wall of noise effect, which, you know, if you're going to do that, I think that you better make sure that you at least have some good riffs. Yeah, I don't know. I play this from time to time, but it's certainly a lesser favorite of what I've heard from Order of the Death's Head. Anyway, there's the front cover right there. Just a pair of hands. There's the back right there. Only 2 tracks on this thing, Darker Than Black. You do get a lyric sheet right here. The lyrics are in French, so useless to me. That's a picture of the guys. And it is just black vinyl. I don't exactly remember what this was limited to. I want to say 300, but I don't know for sure. So yeah, not bad, not fantastic, just a good record. So if you guys are Order of the Death's Head buffs, you'll probably like this. If not, definitely give it a shot. I mean, you know, you might like it more than I do, but I guess there's only one way to find out. So that's Order of the Death's Head with Let's Sing Secret. That's it, guys. That's some 2018 records for you to look into if you haven't heard them. There's a lot coming out in 2018 still. It's been like a constant barrage. I certainly haven't bought that many records. I do have a couple that I haven't shown here, but yeah, just some good stuff, man. 2018 is shaping out to be a great year for music. So if you have any recommendations of new shit that I haven't talked about yet, leave them in the comments. I'm always willing to check shit out. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll do this again real soon. Later.